Hey, we're in a different park today. In today's park, we will hear ducks. We're in Laurelhurst Park, southeast Portland. Laurelhurst was designed by the same guy that gave us Central Park in New York City. And so there's lots of twisties and turnies pathwise in here. Also gave us the Lads Edition, which strange area of Portland, Oregon. If you go into it in one direction, fully expecting to come out in the opposite direction, you will be fooled. You will have turned yourself on yourself and found yourself right back where you began. It's a terrible mystery zone, especially on foot. Anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about the cops. A lot in the news today about defunding the police, and I'm all for that. One thing I haven't heard anybody really talk about much is, why is it that we have to hire linebacker types solely to be police officers? I always think that somebody of a smaller stature, a more sensible approach might shut things down a little bit less painfully. And how do I know this? Well, I worked at a bar for a long time, 15 years. And the same thing happens with bouncers. So they tend to hire the biggest, most linebacker guys. Some of the sweetest guys I've ever known have been bouncers. But they aggravate the problem in some instances. Say you got two drunk 20-something dickheads kind of going at each other, and then the bouncer comes in and he's twice the size of either of them, and neither of them now wants to back down. They don't want to be shown up in front of this bouncer. So it escalates the problem. Now, I know this from first experience because often I was the bouncer, and I am not a linebacker type. No, I am not. And but I could diffuse 99% of the situations that I was in. It's like simply walking over and going, hey, guys, can't be doing that. And take that outside. Just real even keel. 99% of the times the guys would just pack up, go outside, take their fight into the street, whatever. We didn't care as long as they weren't doing it in the bar. But you see, in that situation, had a big burly guy come in there, well, may very well have escalated the situation far more rapidly. And I've had some fun times kicking guys out of bars. I will tell you, probably my most favorite moment of kicking a guy out of the bar happened on one of the nights I ran an open mic comedy show, and I probably had 35 comics, and I'm running them through, and they all get 3 to 5 minutes apiece, and I'm trying to run about a 4-hour show. So like clockwork, we are running the show, and this guy comes and pulls out in front, and it's a Monday night, because it was always a Monday night, so it's quiet in Old Town, and we're at the Boiler Room. It's deep in the heart of Old Town, but it's quiet on a Monday, and this limo pulls up with this guy in a suit, preceded by 9, count them, 9 women, and they all come into the bar, and he immediately becomes a complete jackass. We're going to pause now because we are surrounded by many dogs. It's dog time in the park right here. No one told me. I did expect to have more people than up at Mount Tabor, but you know what? At this point, it's kind of nice to see people. Everyone's kind of staying far away from one another, so we're all right. But where was I? This guy and his 9 women come into the bar, and he's throwing money around, and he is just being a dick to every comic that gets on stage. He's trying to impress these 9 women, right? And I let this go on for a little while because breaking it up would put a real dogs all around me wherever we go. But stopping this would put a real wrinkle in the show, the flow of the show. And so I held off on it for a while, and I finally go over and talk to the bartender, who is, I think, Jessica. Just a takes no shit woman of gloriousness. And so Jessica is behind the bar, and I say, you want this guy gone? And she's, of course, yes. I'm like, is he drunk enough to cut him off? She's like, and she sizes him up. Yeah. And so I said, well, cut him off, and we'll see if he just leaves. And generally that works. You know, you cut somebody off and they get kind of fed up, they want to drink more, so they just get up and leave of their own accord. No problems. See? Ducks. But no, this guy, no, he doesn't leave. He hangs out even though he can't drink there anymore. But now he's being even more obnoxious, and he's heckling every comic. And just the worst heckler of all time. And this guy's just like, oh, you think that was a funny joke? Hey, ladies, this guy thought that was funny enough to say on a microphone in front of other people. I mean, just, you know, the worst. And she cuts him off. So she's cut him off, and I am on the microphone now in between comics, and I'm like, listen, you gotta go. I don't like you. The bar doesn't like you. The people in here don't like you. So go. And the guy starts throwing his fit. You don't know who I am. I'm like, I don't care who you are. I've been spending a lot of money in here. I'm like, Jessica, do you want him to go? Do you care about the money that he's spending in here? And she's like, nope. I'm like, okay. Well, adios. You gotta go. Whoever you are, that we don't care. And he goes. At this time, I did realize that a goodly portion of the ladies that came in with him had already gone. It's like 6 of them left with him instead of the 9. It's like 3 of them went, you know, this guy, maybe we should just go. And they were just gone. And so he's gone. We do the show gets over with. End of the night, I gotta run karaoke. The comedy show ends and I run karaoke until we close the bar down at 2 o'clock in the morning. Well, during the karaoke time, the bar's kind of picked up. A lot of people out there dancing, doing their karaoke. And he comes back in, and I see him in the crowd. And he is sans women now. There's nobody around him but him. And I'm going to let the story simmer here for a moment as we get past some folk. It is gorgeous out here. But I see him, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, hey man, you gotta go. We kicked you out of this bar. And he's like, you know who I am. I'm like, listen, the bartender sees you, she's gonna kill you. So I would just, you know, just turn around and go. He's like, and again, he says, you know who I am. I go, okay, who are you? He says, I'm Rupert Murdoch. I'm like, stunned. Total silence. You could just see that cartoon dumb look hit my face. And I'm like, so you're an 80-year-old Australian man who owns Fox News? Listen, that's the stupidest thing I've heard anybody pretend to be. I can just see it, you know, this morning. Hey, you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to blow a ton of money. I'm going to get a limo. I'm going to pretend to be Rupert Murdoch all day. That's just the stupidest thing I can think of. And this guy is serious and very angry at me now. And I'm like, also, this is one of the bluest places you can possibly be. Portland, Oregon. If it got out that you were actually Rupert Murdoch, if you were actually the guy that owned Fox News, well, there would be hell to pay. There would be mayhem in this establishment. And I don't remember where it went from that, but he was gone. He turned around and got it back out of there. But to me, one of the silliest things, and you see, if I would have come at him with all sorts of mayhem, he probably would have tried to fight me. But just looking at him and being sarcastic to him and getting a whole bunch of people behind me to get him out of that bar, that was the greatest thing. You know, you get on that mic and I'm like, does anybody in this room want him out of the bar? And then, because I'm on a microphone, you know, it's like the whole room, of course, just chants, yes, leave. And it's kind of a metaphor for what's going on right now. You know, we got a bunch of situations that would be far better off if we didn't have that linebacker type guy kind of waltzing his way in and making things get more aggro than they needed to be. But that's me up on my little political soapbox today. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of Laurelhurst Park here. This being Tuesday, June something. In the meantime,